my grandmother from Italy/Austria told it to me. Little Red Hat got on the path to her grandmother's house, where she met an ogre who said,
"Why, hello, my dear Little Red Hat. Where are you going?" "Good. I'll come along, too."
They left. Meanwhile, the ogre hurried on his way. He arrived at the house before Little Red Hat. He went inside, killed the grandmother, and ate her up. He also tied her intestines to the door and placed her blood, teeth, and jaws in the kitchen cupboard. And then BAM! Swallowed Little Red Hat in one go.
I don't like either of those. Are there any better versions?
A lot. And among them, there's the original Grimm's version, which is the most popular and most well-known.
Why so many different stories?
Each of us has different associations, but most who've grown up in an Anglo-American culture will think of a girl, a wolf, a meeting in the woods.
A grandma, a disguise, a litany of questions.
The tearing of flesh.
And finally, a hunter, a musket, and rescue and resurrection from the belly of the beast.
And that is how the Grimms told the tale. This story has changed over time and adapted to many different cultures.
Today, 800 years after the original French version, La Petite Rouge told by peasants, Little Red Riding Hood still remains a prevalent cultural figure to both children and adults.
Understood.
A literary critique and analysis of Little Red Riding Hood.
Translated by Maria Tatar.
Once upon a time, there was an adorable little girl. Anyone who set eyes on her fell in love with her.
Aww.
The person who loved her most of all was her grandmother, and she was always giving her presents. Once, she made her a little hood of red velvet. It was so becoming that the girl wanted to wear it all the time, and so she came to be called Little Red Riding Hood. One day, the girl's mother said to her,
Little Red Riding Hood, here are some cakes and a bottle of wine. Take them to your grandmother. She's ill and feels weak, and they'll make her feel strong. You better start off now, before it gets too hot. When you're out in the woods, keep your eyes on the road, like a good little girl. And don't stray from the path. Otherwise, you'll fall and break the bottle.
"That bottle is worth more than you!"
As you walk into her parlor, don't forget to say good morning and please.
"Don't go poking around while the word is out! Just like last time!" As opposed to the competing versions of the story in which Red doesn't survive, the Grimms decided to save their heroine, who becomes a model of obedience by the tale.
Grandmother lives deep in the woods, about half an hour's walk from the village. No sooner had Little Red Riding Hood stepped into the forest than she met a wolf. Little Red Riding Hood had no idea what a wicked beast he was. She was the least afraid of him.
Good morning, Little Red Riding Hood.
Thank you kindly, Mr. Wolf.
Where are you headed so early this morning? Little Red Riding Hood.
To grandmother's house.
What's that tucked under your apron?
Some cakes of mine. Yesterday we baked to grandmother who is ill and feeling weak. Needs something to make her better.
Where is your grandmother's house, Little Red Riding Hood?
It's a good quarter of an hour's walk into the woods, right under the 3 big oak trees.
Oh,
You must have noticed her hazel hedges all around it.
The wolf got to her.
that tender young thing will make a nice dainty snack. She'll taste even better than the old woman. If you're really crafty, you'll get them both.
The wolf walked beside Little Red Riding Hood for a while, and then he said,
Little Red Riding Hood, have you noticed the beautiful flowers all around? Why don't you stay and look at them for a while? You haven't even heard how sweetly the birds are singing.
Tweet, tweet.
You act as if you're on your way to school, when it's so much fun out here in the woods.
Little Red Riding Hood opened her eyes wide, looked around, and saw the sunbeams dancing in the trees. All the beautiful flowers around, he thought.
If you bring grandmother a fresh bouquet, she'll be overjoyed. It's still so early in the morning that I'm sure to get there in plenty of time.
Little Red Riding Hood left the path looking for flowers. As soon as she picked one, she spotted even more beautiful flowers somewhere else and went after it. So she went deeper into the woods.
The wolf, however, ran straight to grandmother's house and knocked at the door.
Who's there?
Little
Little Red Riding Hood. Open the door. Disgrace the rat
the door swung wide open. Without saying a word, he went straight to the grandmother's bed and gobbled the ground. Then he put on her clothes and her nightcap, drew the curtains, and lay back down in bed to go to sleep.
Meanwhile, Little Red Riding Hood was running around looking for flowers when she had so many in her arms that she couldn't carry anymore. She suddenly remembered Grandmother and got back on the path leading to her house. Once she got there, she was surprised to find the door open. And when she stepped inside, she had such a strange feeling that she thought,
Oh my goodness! Usually I'm so glad to be at grandmother's, but something feels wrong.
Little Red Riding Hood called out a greeting.
but there was no reply. Then she went over to Grandmother's bed and pulled back the curtains. Grandmother was lying there with her cap pulled down over her face. She looked very strange.
For those that are irritated by Red's failure to perceive the creature laying in her grandmother's bed is a wolf. In James Thurber's version, the little girl and the wolf is a healthy counter to both growing the grins. We learn that the wolf
Does not look any more like your grandmother than the Metro Goldwyn Mayan looks like Calvin Coolidge.
watch the girl take an automatic out of her basket and shoot the wolf dead.
It's not as easy to fool little girls nowadays as it used to be.
Conclusion and moral appendix to the tale.
Oh, grandmother, what big ears you have.
The better to hear you with,
Oh, grandmother, what big eyes you have.
the better to see you with,
Oh, grandmother, what big hands you have.
the better to grab you with.
Oh, grandmother, what a big scary mouth you have.
Little Red Riding Hood taps into many childhood anxieties, but especially what psychoanalysts call
The dread of being devoured. Had spoken these words, then he leaped out of bed and gobbled up poor Little Red Riding Hood. Then he lay back down in bed and began to snore very loudly. Just then a hunter happened to be passing by and thought,
How loud you old woman is snoring! I must check to see if anything's wrong. Hop, how!
he went inside the house, and when he reached the bed, he realized that a wolf was lying in it.
I found you at last, Lieutenant! The wolf at one time was cast as an allegorical figure, a rapacious Jew, and even to be suffering from pregnancy envy.
I'll never have children!
You don't deserve children. I've been after you for a long, long time now.
He pulled out his musket and was about to take aim when he realized that the wolf might have eaten Grandmother and that he could still save her. Instead of firing, he took out a pair of scissors and began to cut the belly of the sleeping pup. After making it, he passed out of a red cat. He made a few more cuts and a girl leaped out crying.
Oh, I was so terrified. It was so dark in the belly of the wolf.
Although she could barely breathe, the aged grandmother also found her and filled the wolf's belly with milk. When he woke, his legs were so heavy underneath him that they collapsed and he fell down. Red Riding Hood in 1679, and his wicked wolf triumphs in the end by throwing himself on Red and gobbling her up before she can escape. The little girl never emerges from the belly of the wolf.
However, in Roald Dahl's Little Red Riding Hood and the Wolf, Red was a pistol out for knickers and shoots the wolf dead. In a matter of weeks, she's wearing a lovely furry wolf skin coat.
In an alternate women's version, in which the wolf is lured to his death by Little Red Riding Hood, who, on the ground, places a trough of water in which Grandmother has boiled sausages. Here, Grandmother and Granddaughter do not have to rely on the intervention of a huntsman. To outwit old graybeard on their own. In a version derived from a Swedish folk song, Red is chased up a tall oak tree where she lets out a piercing scream. Her beloved hears the scream, jumps onto his saddle, and rides off as quick as a bird. But when he gets to the spot where Red last was, he finds nothing but the trunk of a tall oak on the ground and the bloody arm of a girl.
You